The PC isn't all about high-performance first-person shooters and AAA titles. Sometimes all you need is a little breath of fresh air and enjoyable JRPGs. What to Play presents 10 of the best JRPGs for the PC, all arranged by playscore. The playscore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. For more JRPGs, gaming updates, and rankings, you can always check out our website at whattoplay.com, linked in the description box below.
Galtea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy.
Opening at number 10 is Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. Square Enix is home to many memorable JRPGs. With Final Fantasy VII remakes released drawing close, the rest of the FF titles don't get enough praise. 12's massive shift to real-time from the usual traditional turn-based FF combat opened new doors for the future of the series. Players are no longer constrained by waiting for their turn and stressing about random encounters. In the Zodiac Age, it further improved the original's gameplay by introducing the International Zodiac system, an overhaul which enables players to customize their favorite characters' zodiac signs and change their jobs as they see it. Not only that, players can change between characters on the fly. In this definitive version of the 12 experience, players can enjoy Vaughn and his friend's journey once more, without the clunky combat and a few upgrades. However, the story remains the same. It receives a play score of 8.35.
Amazing, ain't it?
Following up at number 9 is Monster Hunter World. Capcom's Monster Hunter doesn't really fit in the JRPG scene. It has no long-winded storyline or any quirky characters as party members. Instead, it takes lowly hunters into a boss rush / heavy grind fest that constantly pushes you to upgrade your weapons and equipment to its full potential. What separates Monster Hunter from most JRPGs is its action-oriented focus. You'll be spending most of your time hunting monsters and wearing their skins as armor. Sounds morbid, yeah, but that's how the franchise worked for almost a decade. In World, the massive amount of content is unlike any Monster Hunter game ever released. More monsters, new worlds, and not to mention the recent Iceborne expansion that almost felt like a whole new game. It's one of Capcom's strongest achievements of last year, and it keeps getting more content in the months to come. A play score of 8.36. At number 8, we have Valkyria Chronicles 4. JRPGs grounded on reality are always welcome. Sega's animated take on the tactics and tragedies of war. The fourth main entry to their strategy RPG series, building their legacy out of tactical freedom of their gameplay, Valkyria Chronicles 4 doesn't stray away too far from the spirit of their first game. A return to roots with new characters and the same cel-shaded graphics in a brand new engine, its small changes bring in just enough elements to make the game feel like new. In this sequel, it redefines the details of its addictive turn-based combat while staying true to its creative, mature storytelling. It receives a play score of 8.37. At number 7, we have Zwei, the Ilvard Insurrection. Nihon Falcom's steampunkish JRPG takes you into the skies. After suffering from a mysterious plane crash, get lost into its aerial paradise where magic and technology go hand in hand together. The Ilvard Insurrection lets players control two unlikely characters, Ragna, the treasure hunter, and Alwyn, the vampire princess. Together, they go on a typical JRPG adventure, fulfilling quests and meeting strange residents in the kingdom of Ilvard. Also known as Zwei 2, this PC release was greatly expanded from its Japanese version, adding English voice acting that breathes new life into the story. The game's unique food-based mechanic also offers more room for replay value, aside from the monster-slaying grind. It's leagues better than the first Zwei title, and it deserves more attention to the JRPG scene. A play score of 8.43.
I will make you pay.
And at number 6, we have Tales of Berseria. It's not a JRPG list without one of Bandai Namco's long-running Tales games. Since 1995, the Tales series continues to push the limits of their storytelling and combat. Each release builds upon the previous installment's shortcomings and makes it better. In Tales of Berseria, follow a band of heroes in a kingdom corrupted by demonic disease. It's the 16th entry to the ever-growing Tales series, and it serves as a prequel to Zestiria. It's still an RPG set in a third-person perspective. It still shares the same combat like most of the previous Tales titles, although with a little bit of modern tweaking. Its signature linear motion battle system presents a dazzling array of fast-paced combat with every enemy encounter. Its upcoming Tales of Arise will further improve the gameplay, story, and world building like never before. Berseria receives a play score of 8.55.
Oh, pure-hearted one, will you please come and save our world?
No.
With number 5, we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the Witch Remastered. Straight from the desk of the renowned Studio Ghibli animators, Level 5's wholesome fantasy adventure presents nothing but charm and color to the overgrown palette of grim JRPGs. This remastered version of the 2013 original feels new, yet familiar. Explore the magical worlds with Oliver and his friends in high definition. Its quality is now on par with its sequel, Revenant Kingdom. However, as a mere remaster, this version has no added content aside from its improved visuals. It was hailed as one of the best JRPGs on the PlayStation 3. Praised for its cheerful storytelling, vibrant atmosphere, and its fantastic soundtrack by Joe Hisashi himself. It's the kind of game for a sweet and temporary escape. A play score of 8.59.
As my consciousness began to fade, I heard a distinct voice resound at the back of my mind.
In our 4th spot, we have The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. Nihon Falcom's beloved The Legend of Heroes is a universe in its own right. Originally from the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3, this JRPG continues to embrace the signature turn-based battles the genre was known for.
To ash. Fall!
You're not getting away. Molten Wave!
As a direct sequel to the original Trails of Cold Steel, it begins 1 month after its ending. It takes players once again into the shoes of Rien Schwarzer and his adventures in the middle of a crossfire between a gripping civil war. Unlike the first game in Cold Steel 3, the main character doesn't succumb to attending military classes. Instead, it takes players into a traditional traveling around the world journey with a cast of memorable characters. After all, it's a JRPG, and what's not to love about adventures? It has a play score of 8.59. In 3rd place, we have The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky 3rd. Normally we'd separate similar series in our rankings, but Nihon Falcom's The Legend of Heroes series has 2 different stories set in one universe. Each veering away from its main premise. Just like Final Fantasy, every Legend of Heroes has a different character to play and a whole new chapter to uncover. In Trails of the Sky 3rd, it takes place way before Cold Steel, and it involves the series' iconic Septian priest, Kevin Graham, in his quest to recover a mysterious artifact hidden in the world. It takes place after the events of the 2nd chapter's Estelle and Joshua. The turn-based gameplay is still similar to its predecessors, with the addition of a few extra elements in combat. But combat isn't Trails in the Sky's strongest aspects. It's in its characters and story. Fans of the series are expected to meet a few returning heroes and villains from the previous entries. A play score of 8.59.
Bright luminary, let the light shine on the world again.
Our big number 2 is Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Square Enix's latest Dragon Quest release was considered as the best of the series yet, and it was one of the strongest contenders for Game of the Year last year. 11 excels with his fantastic presentation of the living JRPG fantasy. Save the world of Erdrea and take on the role of brave hero as you explore this magical world full of monsters to slay and secrets to discover. It was mostly celebrated for its heartwarming story and its overwhelming amount of memorable characters. Unlike the definitive edition, the PC version lacks a few bonus content that adds unique scenarios for your party members. Nonetheless, it's still an adventure worth taking. It has a play score of 8.73.
Unravel the riddles of this land and defeat the hateful children of Harkon.
And the best JRPG for the PC so far is none other than Dragon Quest Builders 2. The third and final Square Enix title on this list. Square's open-world JRPG has a lot in store for die-hard sandbox fans and JRPG veterans. It's the ideal platform for players who love Minecraft but want more of that choose-your-own-adventure type of journey. It's a sequel to 2016's Dragon Quest spin-off, which takes us into a whole new Dragon Quest universe where we rebuild its fallen world after an apocalypse. This sequel features the addition of a few interesting biomes and fancy gameplay improvements that wouldn't be intimidating for new and young players.
But beware, monsters roam this land and will need to be dispatched with cunning composure.
Despite it being a sandbox game with unlimited possibilities, it's still a JRPG. You build your character, customize him from top to bottom, and let your hero explore a massive open world. It has a play score of 8.74.